The reward. No one expected. The war was over. The galactic sky, once full of fire and screams, was now quiet. Stars looked peaceful again. Planets that had burned were slowly healing. The Alien Alliance, a powerful group of races from across the stars, had won. But they knew one thing for sure: they couldn't have done it without the humans. The humans had joined late in the war. No one expected much from them. They were small, fragile, and had only one homeworld. But they fought with a kind of fire no one had seen before. They didn't run. They didn't beg. They stood, even when it looked hopeless. So now, to honor that bravery, the Alien Alliance made an offer. One human would be given the grand reward, anything they asked for. Power, ships, land, gold, technology, even a planet. That human was Commander Ryan Hale. Ryan stood in the middle of the grand throne room, made of shining glass and gold. Strange alien lights moved on the walls. Tall warriors and leaders from dozens of species stood around him, watching with glowing eyes. But the biggest presence in the room was her, the alien queen. She sat high above them all on a throne made of black stone. Her skin was deep violet. Her silver eyes never blinked. She wore no crown, but her presence was heavier than armor. The queen of the Valari, the most feared and respected race in the galaxy. Human, the speaker said, his voice echoing through the hall. You fought bravely. Your name is known in every system. Today you may ask for anything. Your reward will be given, no matter the cost. Everyone waited. Some expected him to ask for weapons. Others thought he would ask for a fleet or a city. Ryan stayed silent for a moment. Then he looked up, directly at the queen. The room grew tense. I choose her, Ryan said quietly. No one spoke. Speak again? The speaker asked, thinking. He misunderstood. Ryan pointed. I choose the queen. Gasps filled the hall. Some aliens took a step back. Others whispered in shock. The queen didn't move. For a moment she looked like a statue. No one had ever made such a request. The queen wasn't a reward. She wasn't a prize. She ruled over hundreds of worlds. She had ended wars with a single word. Her silver eyes slowly narrowed. You ask? For me? She said, voice cold and sharp. Ryan nodded. Yes. The guards reached for their weapons. The queen raised one hand and they froze. Why? She asked. Do you think this is a joke? No joke, Ryan said calmly. During the Battle of Krenox, you stood on the front lines. You didn't hide behind ships or walls, you fought. And when your people started to fall, you screamed in rage. Not like a queen, like someone who cared. The queen's face didn't change, but her fingers tightened on the armrest of her throne. I've seen leaders who send others to die, Ryan continued. But you were willing to die with them. That meant something to me. The hall was silent. Finally, the queen rose from her throne. The room seemed to shrink as she walked down the steps, each footstep soft but heavy. She stopped in front of Ryan. They were close now, close enough to hear each other breathe. You are either very brave, she whispered, or very stupid. Maybe both, Ryan said. A small smile tugged at the corner of her mouth, but it vanished in an instant. She turned to the crowd. The reward has been claimed, she said loudly. I will speak with him. Alone. Gasps again. But no one dared to argue. The queen walked past Ryan. Follow me, she said without looking back. As Ryan followed her into the deep corridors of the palace, the eyes of the galaxy followed too. Millions would soon hear what had happened. Some would laugh. Some would be angry. Some would be afraid. But only one person truly understood what had just begun. The queen. Because deep in her chest, something moved, something she hadn't felt in years. Curiosity. The queen's anger and curiosity. The alien queen's private chamber was not made of gold or crystal like the rest of her palace. It was dark, quiet, empty, no guards, No servants, no decorations. Just stone walls, a single light and silence. Ryan walked behind her. Each step he took echoed through the hallway like a question. Why had he chosen her? Was he mad? Did he want power? To control her? Or was this some strange human trick? The Queen stopped at the door. It slid open with a soft hiss. Inside, she said, not turning around. Ryan entered. The door shut behind them. Now it was just the two of them. The most powerful woman in the galaxy, and a human soldier from a distant world. She didn't sit on her throne. Instead, she stood by the window staring at the stars. Her voice was cold and sharp, like ice. Do you know what you've done? Ryan stayed calm. I asked for my reward. You asked for me, she snapped, turning to face him. You stood in front of every leader in the galaxy and claimed the Queen of the Valari as your prize. I didn't claim you, he said. I chose you. Her eyes narrowed. What's the difference? Ryan walked slowly toward her. One is about power. The other is about respect. The Queen laughed quietly, bitterly. Humans always speak of respect, and yet your kind burned half the enemy fleet. You destroyed cities. So did you, he said. I saw you on the battlefield. She turned away again. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then she whispered, Do you know what they will say now? The Council, the other queens, the Alliance? I know what I'll say, Ryan replied. I don't care. She finally turned to face him fully. Her eyes burned silver. You think you're brave, she said, but you don't understand. You've stepped into a war older than your species. She raised one hand, and suddenly the room changed. Holograms appeared around them. Images of ancient battles, of her race, the Valari, crushing enemies across the stars. Her as a child, her as a warrior, her killing her own sister for the throne, her taking the crown, soaked in blood. I didn't win this crown, she said. I survived it. Ryan looked at her. I don't fear your past. You should, she whispered. Then she moved closer. I don't know what game you're playing, human. Maybe you want to tame me. Maybe you want to control me. But listen carefully. I am not yours. You are mine. Ryan didn't flinch. I'm not playing a game. I saw something real in you, something hidden. She stared at him, long and hard, for the first time in years. She didn't know what to say. Suddenly, a sharp beep rang from the wall. An emergency signal. The Queen touched it. A voice came through. Your Majesty, there's a problem. A spy caught listening outside your chamber. Her eyes went dark. Deal with him, she said coldly. Erase the memory. Then she looked at Ryan again. You're already making enemies. That was fast, he said. They fear what they don't understand, she said. And you? He asked. Do you fear me? No, she replied. But I don't trust you. She stepped closer again. So close now he could feel her breath. Prove yourself, she said. Earn my attention. Earn my time. You wanted me. Now survive me. With that, she pressed a button. The floor beneath Ryan shifted and dropped. He fell. Darkness swallowed him. Meanwhile, the Queen stood alone watching the stars once more. No one had ever dared to speak to her like that. No one had ever seen her, not just the crown. She told herself it was a test, a trap, a way to break the human early. But deep inside, she wanted to see what he would do next, not as a ruler, but as a woman. And that terrified her more than war ever did. The tests began and hit the floor hard, not stone, not metal. It felt like soft sand. He coughed and sat up, blinking in the dim red light. Where was he? The room around him was wide, round, and silent. Glowing symbols floated in the air. The walls shifted slowly like they were breathing. Everything felt alive. He stood up slowly. A voice echoed, deep, robotic, and cold. Test 1 begins now. Survive. Survive what? Ryan said aloud. He didn't have to wait long. The ground trembled. A sharp hiss came from the far wall. A door slid open and something stepped out. It was tall, thin, not human, not Valari. It had no eyes, just a long head, black skin and 6 blade-like arms. It clicked and screeched, then charged. Ryan ran. No weapons, no armor, just a hallway full of shifting lights and shadows. He ducked behind a wall just as one of the creature's arms slammed where his head had been. The impact cracked the stone. Ryan rolled away and picked up a metal pipe from the ground. It wasn't much, but it was something. The thing screeched again and lunged. Ryan swung hard, hitting its side. Sparks flew, but the creature barely slowed down. Great, he muttered. It's got armor. He ran again, toward the glowing door at the far end of the chamber. Locked. Symbols lit up. A puzzle. He looked over his shoulder. The creature was coming fast. He slammed the pipe into the symbol panel by accident. One of the symbols changed. He paused. Thought fast. These symbols, they're numbers, he said. It's a sequence. With shaky hands, he pressed 4 in a row. The lights blinked. Correct. The door hissed open. He dove through it just as the creature swiped, and the door slammed shut between them. Silence. His heart was racing. His hands were shaking. But he was alive, for now. Then the voice came again. Test 1 complete. Test 2 begins. Choose. The new room was smaller, cleaner. 2 glowing platforms stood in the middle. On one platform was a young alien girl, scared, eyes wide. On the other was a male Valari soldier, chained, injured. A screen lit up. Only one may live. Choose. 5 seconds. Ryan's chest tightened. What is this? 4 seconds. The girl was crying. 3. The soldier looked straight at Ryan, calm, proud. 2. Ryan made his choice. He ran to the girl's platform and slammed his hand on the control. The soldier's platform dropped into the darkness. The girl fell to her knees, shaking. Ryan didn't speak. He just helped her stand. The voice returned. Test 2 complete. You chose mercy. Test 3 begins. Truth. The walls changed again. Ryan was alone now. The girl was gone. The room was dark and cold. A figure stepped out of the shadows. It looked like his old captain from Earth. But it wasn't. It felt wrong. You think you're special? The fake captain said. You think you impressed the queen? Ryan stayed silent. You want her. But do you know who she really is? The lights shifted. Now the room was filled with images, bloody wars. Planets burning, prisoners screaming, the queen killing, commanding, watching cities fall. She's a monster, the fake captain said. And you asked for her. Ryan closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them again. I've seen worse monsters, he said. Some wore medals. The figure screamed and vanished. Test 3 complete. Final judgment pending. Ryan dropped to his knees, exhausted, sweating. But then, silence. He thought it was over. Then the wall opened, and the queen stepped inside. Her eyes glowed in the darkness. She said nothing, just stared at him. Ryan slowly stood. How long were you watching? From the beginning, she said softly. Then you know I didn't break. She tilted her head. You showed mercy. You solved puzzles. You faced truths. But that doesn't mean I trust you. I didn't come here for trust, he said. I came here for you. Her eyes narrowed. Why? She whispered. Why? Me, because you're not what they say, he replied. You're more. And I want to know who you are. The queen stepped closer. Then we begin a new test, she said. What test? He asked. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Can you survive the truth of me? The queen's secret pastry followed the queen through a hidden door behind her, throne. It wasn't shown on any map. Even her closest guards didn't know it existed. They walked down a spiral staircase lit by a strange blue glow. The air grew colder with every step. Thick silence wrapped around them. "Where are we going?" Ryan asked. "To a place I buried," the Queen said. "But you want the truth, don't you?" He didn't answer. He just followed. At the bottom was a chamber so old it didn't match the rest of the palace. It looked like ruins, ancient stone, cracked pillars and writing carved deep into the walls. In the center was a pool, not water, something black and alive. It shimmered like glass but moved like smoke. The Queen walked to the edge of the pool and stopped. "This is where I became queen," she said. Ryan looked around. "This doesn't look like a throne room." "Because it isn't," she replied. "It's a grave." She pointed to the writing on the wall. "This is our true history," she said. "Not the version we tell the Alliance, not the story in the archives. This is the blood truth." Ryan stepped closer. "Whose grave is it?" She turned slowly. Her voice was calm, but her hands were shaking. "My sister's." A pause. Ryan felt the air shift. Something in the room changed. Like the shadows were listening now. "I wasn't born a queen," she continued. "I was born second. The unchosen one. She was everything, perfect, trained, trusted." "So what happened?" She challenged the blood pool, the Queen said. "Every queen must. It shows your truth, your power, your soul." She looked into the black pool and her reflection shimmered strangely, like it wasn't really her. "But the pool rejected her," she whispered. "It showed weakness in her heart. Love. Mercy. Isn't that strength?" Ryan asked. "Not to the old ones," she said. "Not to our laws. Weakness is death." She closed her eyes. "She begged me to take the throne, to lie, to pretend she passed. She wanted me to protect our people." "And did you?" Ryan asked quietly. The Queen opened her eyes. They burned brighter now. "No," she said. "I killed her." The room seemed to freeze, even the pool went still. "Why?" Ryan whispered. "Because I was tired of being second," she said. "I told myself it was duty. But the truth is, I wanted the crown, and I hated her for being loved." She turned to him. "That's who I really am, humans still want me?" Ryan stared at her, the most feared queen in the galaxy, the one who could destroy planets. And here she was, confessing murder in the darkness. But Ryan didn't step back. "Yes," he said. She blinked. "You should run," she said. "I'm not here to judge you," he said. "I've done things too, but you didn't kill your family." "I left them to die in a war," he said. "Same thing." They were quiet. Then the pool bubbled. A low, strange hum filled the air. "Someone else is here," the Queen said, stepping back. The shadows moved. A figure rose from the pool, tall, glowing, wearing ancient Valari armor. It looked like the Queen, but older, darker. "What is that?" Ryan asked. The Queen's voice was tight. "The past, the blood memory. It only appears when truth is fully spoken." The figure walked forward. "You have brought a human," it said, voice deep and echoing. "I had no choice," the Queen said. "He asked for me." "Then the test must begin," the memory said. "Both of you. Now." Before either could speak, the pool flashed. Blinding white light. Ryan and the Queen vanished. Elsewhere, they stood in a battlefield, dead soldiers, burning skies. A younger version of the Queen was standing over her sister. Ryan looked around. "Is this the moment it happened?" The Queen's hands were shaking. "The memory pool, it's forcing us to relive it. Can we stop it?" "No," she said. "We have to survive it." And suddenly, the younger Queen turned and attacked. Trapped in the pastry and landed hard, dust rose around him. Heat slammed his face. Smoke filled the air. He blinked fast. A battlefield. The sky above was dark red. Ships burned. Explosions shook the ground. Alien soldiers, Valari, were locked in brutal combat, but this wasn't war. It was history. This is the memory, he whispered. We're inside the past. Beside him, the Queen stood frozen. She wasn't in her usual royal robes. She was younger, armor scraped, blood on her hands. Her eyes stared straight ahead, at herself. The younger version of her stood just a few steps away, blade in hand, facing her sister. I remember this, the Queen whispered. This is the moment, the one I never wanted to see again. We have to get out, Ryan said. We can't, she replied. Not until the memory finishes. And if we interfere... She didn't finish. Ryan didn't ask. They watched. The younger Queen pointed her blade at her sister. Step down, she said. You failed the blood pool. The people won't accept you. The older sister, the rightful heir, shook her head. They don't need to know, she said. Let me lead with mercy. Our people are tired of war. Younger Queen's voice turned sharp. Then they'll die tired. And without warning, she struck. Her blade slashed across her sister's chest. Blood splattered on the sand. The older sister fell back, shocked. You wouldn't. I just did, the younger version said coldly. But then, something changed. The memory glitched. The battlefield flickered. The wounded sister stood again, but this time, her eyes glowed red. This didn't happen, the Queen whispered. She died that day. This memory's wrong, Ryan said. It's being changed. No, she said, voice shaking. Someone's changing it. The glowing sister turned toward them. She saw them. You shouldn't be here, she said. Ryan stepped back. Is she real? No, the Queen said. But something's taken control of her, something from the blood pool. The ghost sister raised her hand. The world cracked, stone walls rose around them. Chains burst from the ground. Ryan tried to run, but one wrapped around his arm, dragging him down. He screamed. The Queen tried to cut the chains, but her blade passed through them like smoke. It's not physical, she said. It's testing your mind. Ryan gritted, his teeth as pain flooded him. Vision struck him fast and cruel. Earth burning, his squad dying, his mother calling his name. But he wasn't fast enough. It's not real, he shouted, but it felt real. Then he saw the Queen, chained too now, and screaming. Not from pain, from guilt. I killed her, she whispered, and I liked it. No, Ryan shouted. You regretted it. I saw it. You cared. The ghost sister stepped closer. Then prove it, she hissed. Face the truth or drown in it. The battlefield twisted. They were in the blood pool again, only now it was everywhere. Black liquid rose around them like waves. The Queen sank. Ryan grabbed her hand, held tight. Don't let go, he shouted. I'm not worth it, she cried. You are to me, the ghost hissed and screamed. You don't belong here, human, you're nothing. Ryan looked straight at her. Then why are you so afraid of me? The ghost froze. Cracks spread through her face, and suddenly, light, blinding, burning, pure. The blood pool exploded, and they were thrown clear. Later, Ryan woke up in the palace infirmary. His body hurt, his head pounded, but he was alive, and the Queen sat beside him, silent, watching. When she saw his eyes open, she said only one thing. You saw all of me, even the part I hate most. He nodded. And you still held on. He gave her a tired smile. I said I would. She looked away, for a moment, then said something she had never said to anyone before. I believe you. Enemies within the palace, the Queen's private guards bowed as she and Ryan returned to the throne hall. They had only been gone for a few hours, but everything felt different. Ryan felt it first. Eyes watching from the shadows. Whispers that stopped when they got close. Too many guards in the halls. Something's wrong, he said softly. The Queen nodded. They know we were in the blood pool. So what? She didn't answer. Instead, she walked to her throne and stood tall. Summon the High Council, she told her advisor. The advisor hesitated, just for a second, but Ryan noticed. and so did the queen. Is there a problem? She asked coldly. No, Your Majesty, the advisor said. But his eyes slid toward Ryan. The message was clear. He doesn't belong here. Minutes later, the High Council arrived. They were 10 of the most powerful Valari leaders in the galaxy. Generals, nobles, strategists. They bowed, but not deeply. The queen stood still, her voice firm. There is a traitor in this palace, she said. One who accessed the blood pool's hidden core. Gasps. Murmurs. But Ryan was watching the faces. One of them didn't flinch. A tall Valari in red armor. Counselor Velek. His face was calm. Too calm. The queen walked forward. You know what the blood pool holds. If someone twists its memories, they can rewrite the past. Ryan stepped up beside her. And rewrite who sits on the throne. That got their attention. But Velek only smiled. You sound nervous, Your Majesty, he said smoothly. Perhaps the pool showed your weakness. Careful, the queen warned. Or what? Velek asked. Will you kill another sibling? The room went silent. Even the guards shifted nervously. The queen's face didn't change, but her hands clenched. Ryan stepped forward. She didn't want the throne, he said. She took it to protect her people. Velek laughed. And who are you to speak here, human? A pet? A prize? Ryan met his eyes. Someone who bled beside her. Someone who saw the truth. Velek's smile faded. Then, he moved. Lightning fast, he pulled a hidden blade and threw it. Not at the queen. At Ryan. Ryan ducked. The blade grazed his shoulder, but embedded deep into the throne. Guards rushed forward. Too late. The queen raised her hand, and Velek was slammed to the floor by invisible force. You dare attack the one I accepted? Her voice thundered, but Velek just smiled through bloody teeth. You're already too late. He bit down. A small device under his tongue lit up, and his body glowed red. Self-destruct. Get down! Ryan shouted, grabbing the queen. A massive explosion ripped through the council chamber. The blast was contained, but several guards were thrown across the room. Velek's body was gone. Nothing left but a burn mark on the floor. And now, panic. Guards flooded in. Doctors rushed to the injured. Council members screamed for order. But Ryan only looked at the queen. Her eyes weren't on the fire. They were on the walls, the ancient walls of the palace. The explosion had cracked part of them, revealing hidden writing underneath. Older than Valari history, older than the queen herself. She stepped forward, brushing dust off the symbols. What is it? Ryan asked. Her voice was barely a whisper. Prophecy. He frowned. What does it say? She read the words slowly. When the queen spills royal blood, a shadow shall rise to claim her crown. Only one born outside the stars can stand between her and the fall. Ryan's heart stopped. Born outside the stars? He said. She looked at him. That means you. Suddenly, the throne room doors slammed shut. A new voice echoed through the chamber. A female voice. Strong. Cold. Familiar. You've ignored me long enough, sister. From the shadows stepped a tall figure. Armor black, eyes glowing. The queen froze. That's not possible, she whispered. You're dead. The figure smiled. Not anymore. The return of the dead. Air. The throne room went silent. No one moved. No one even breathed. Ryan looked at the figure standing in the doorway. She looked like the queen, same eyes, same jawline, but colder, harder, filled with something dark. You're dead, the queen whispered again. I was, the figure said, until you left me to die and buried me in the blood pool. Ryan stepped in front of the queen. Who is she? The queen didn't answer. She couldn't. But Ryan already knew. Your sister. The older sister. The one who was supposed to be queen, the one the current queen had defeated. But somehow, she was back. You saw me die, the sister said. But the blood pool never let me go. It showed me what you hid from the people, what you did. And now, it's my turn. Guards moved toward her. She raised her hand. All of them collapsed without even being touched. The Queen's eyes widened. That's not possible. That kind of power, it only comes from the deep pool, the sister said. The part you never dared enter, I drowned in it, and it gave me everything. Ryan grabbed the Queen's hand. We have to run. No, she said. If we run, she'll take the palace. The people will follow her. But she'll kill you. The Queen looked at her sister. Maybe I deserve it. You don't, Ryan said. You made mistakes. But you protected your world. Queen looked at him, really looked. Then she nodded and stepped forward. Sister, she said, voice clear. You want the throne? Take it. But you'll have to face me again. The sister smiled. I hoped you'd say that. A new chamber, the old trial arena, built long ago for royal combat. The room was massive, ancient, carved into a mountain. Crowds filled the balconies. Nobles, soldiers, the press. Everyone had come. The Queen stood at one side, blade in hand. Ryan helped her with her armor. If you lose, he said, they'll never know what she really is. Then I won't lose, she said. On the other side, the sister, dressed in armor made from bloodstone, pulsing with dark energy. No weapon. She's unarmed, Ryan said. No, the Queen replied. She is the weapon. The gong sounded. The fight began. The sister moved first, faster than anything Ryan had ever seen. The Queen blocked, barely. Blades clashed. Energy cracked. Every strike shook the mountain. The crowd watched in stunned silence. Ryan saw something the others didn't. The Queen was losing. She was stronger than before, but her sister's power wasn't natural. It was corrupted. She's feeding off the pool, Ryan said aloud. She's still connected to it. He looked at the arena floor. Symbols were glowing beneath the sister's feet. They were part of the prophecy. Only one, born outside the stars. He looked at his hand. A scar from the blood pool still burned on his wrist. He was marked by it too. No way this works, he whispered. Then ran. He jumped into the arena. The crowd gasped. Get back, the Queen shouted. The sister turned toward him, laughing. You think you matter? She raised her hand. A blast of dark force flew at him. He didn't dodge. He stepped into it and grabbed her wrist. Pain burned through him, but he didn't let go. You're not the only one it touched, he growled. Light exploded from his chest, blue, pure, not red like hers. The blood pool's true energy. It rejected her. She screamed. Her powers shattered around her. The Queen, struck but not to kill, just enough to knock her down. Her sister collapsed, unconscious. The crowd rose to their feet, cheering, chanting one name. Ryan, Ryan, Ryan. The Queen stood in the center of the arena, beside her, the human who had saved her life, her throne, and maybe her soul. Later, the throne room was calm. Ryan stood near the window watching the stars. The Queen walked up behind him. You could ask for anything, she said softly. Riches, land, a ship. He turned to her. I already chose, he said. Me, she said quietly. He nodded. Then I choose you too, she said. Not because you saved me, but because when the galaxy turned against me, you stayed. Stepped closer. Does this mean I have to wear royal clothes now? She smiled. No, she said. Just don't leave. He didn't.